Real quickly before we begin, I'm planning on reigniting a solid stream schedule in the new year, and likely as of you watching this, even could be live right now over on my Twitch channel. Hoping to commit much more time to it now and into the new year, so if you're interested in hanging out and catching the streams, links in the description below if you guys want to drop a follow. But anyways, back to the regular scheduled content. Now 2 months into Modern Warfare and about halfway through Season 1, give or take a couple of days, there's already been some items in the game that have come across as increasingly rare. Items that could be limited to less than 300 of them in the entire world, items coming up that will have deadlines that will make them rare if you haven't acted on them just yet, and anything in between. Today, I wanted to break down 15 of the rarest items in Modern Warfare to date and share some information on them with you guys. By no means is this a definitive list. I'm sure that some may have slipped through the cracks when searching for some of these items, and if that's the case, feel free to let me know about those items in the comments below. Also, while we go along, let me know which of these you have for yourself, and perhaps if you make it through the whole list, how many of the 15 in total do you have? If you're new here as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare on a daily basis so you can stay in the loop with all things like updates, news, tips and tricks, and all that good stuff. But anyways, let's begin. Let's start out with some items that are already immortalized as rare as they've reached their deadlines. They're not being distributed anymore, and as such, you can't find them unless someone still has a code out there or auctioning them off at a higher than market price. The one I want to start with is one that actually was the catalyst for this video and why I wanted to take a look at some of the rarer items in Modern Warfare, because for the longest time, even I had no idea how I had this calling card, that being the 141 calling card. After getting a ton of comments on it at the very beginning of the game whenever it launched, and even still up until this point, having cross-referenced who I know that has this calling card as well, having seen potentially where it may have come from, I finally figured out a definitive answer for it. The 141 calling card was something that was exclusive to those that had the Snapchat AR promo item that was granted to press and content creators for the Modern Warfare MP reveal event. This was something that was given out beforehand so that we could tease little things here leading up until the reveal of multiplayer a couple of months back at the beginning of August. But that actually wasn't the only way that players had it, because there are some people out there that aren't a content creator, that weren't a part of that reveal event, and still have this. It was actually also available in a contest done with Call of Duty and Adidas, in which 50 winners or so, if I'm not mistaken, got access to get this calling card also, bringing the total number of codes ever granted out there to 300 in the entire world. The second one we'll discuss is a promo done with Call of Duty and Grubhub that brings back some nostalgia of the classic Modern Warfare games and the ongoing Burger Town franchise in Call of Duty's history. For a limited time up until the point of the 1st of November, players could get a calling card, watch, and a charm that was all branded with Burger Town by taking advantage of this Grubhub promo, in which you could end up ordering $10 or more of food and get a code for said items, if I'm not mistaken. Now, there were some issues where players didn't get these where they should have, and so therefore may limit this even more to the amount of players that have them out there. But with it being something that only lasted a few days and perhaps not being one of the most mainstream things that was advertised, not many players in the world end up having these customization items. Number 3 on the list is one that players were asking for quite some time, and whenever the game first initially launched, really wanted to know where it was, that being the M16, or rather as it's called in Modern Warfare from the Season 1 reward, the OG M4 variant. If you ended up reaching the max level of 155 in the preseason or Season 0 of whenever Modern Warfare launched up until just a couple of weeks ago when Season 1 ended up beginning, if you've reached level 155 during that time, you are granted an exclusive blueprint for that Season 0 or preseason time frame, in which it was the M16, but an M4 variation of it with a burst attachment, proper sights, and subsequent attachments going along with the weapon, which could be made in the regular gunsmith, but would be missing some of the design exclusives like that sight that the original M16 had and that the OG variant has as well. Now, currently, it's not slated to ever come back in Modern Warfare. That could be something that changes over time, but as it stands, if you missed out on level 155 in Season 0, that ship is unfortunately sailed, where the classic can no longer be obtained. Another item from the preseason, or as it's officially dubbed Season 0, is the full Completionist Emblem that you get for completing 100% of the officer challenges. Now, a lot of these were bugged for quite some time, so it may be something that you have, you don't have, or maybe you're like me that you just gave up trying to work on them towards the end. Now, unfortunately, our theory of how this would be an in-game air quote prestige icon next to your rank with each coming season, that didn't come true, but you did get what was officially stated at the very beginning of an emblem. Emblem. Now, it's not much, but it is something that players do wear with a badge of honor, and not many players that I know ended up getting that S010 emblem that came along with the preseason. So if you did, you're an elite company of those completionists and have something probably 90% of players don't have. After that, let's talk about an exclusive variant or blueprint for the 50GS or Desert Eagle. Now, this is something that was only available for a couple of days and was a reward where you had to run through a gauntlet of 2v2 gunfight matches in order to obtain, that being the legendary Royal Decree 50GS blueprint. Now, this comes equipped with a match grade trigger, the rubberized grip tape, and the Mo Money perk, but I think the design is perhaps the coolest part here of this, where it's almost an ornamental weapon piece, masterfully crafted and something that looks very ornate and absolutely beautiful if you ask me, but you had to win a gunfight tournament, which was only available in its beta stages for a few days in-game for Modern Warfare. It was there and then gone relatively fast, so if you didn't jump on and take advantage of that or win said tournament, you wouldn't have it. Next up on our list comes down to the Call of Duty Endowment Pack, which was only for sale for a little bit of time, a couple of weeks after the game ended up launching, but you ended up getting with it a camo watch weapon charm, magna blueprint, a couple of emblems, a couple of sprays, and some stickers as well. It was the first customization pack available and also the first thing sold in the shop as well. All of those proceeds going directly to the Call of Duty Endowment, a charity that helps place veterans returning home and stateside into jobs and careers once they get out of the service, and really is a great thing to contribute to. So personally, I had absolutely no problem buying into this whenever it came out, but again, it is something that has gone away and doesn't look to come back anytime soon. So for the time being, those that have it have some pretty rare items in game. And the final one that we'll talk about here on this list comes down to something that you could probably still find out there on eBay. You could probably still find it somewhere, but it would likely be jacked up in price, already comparative to the already higher price tag that it came along with. That being the Dark Edition of Modern Warfare, more specifically for the night vision goggles that came along with it. Now, these aren't necessarily your state-of-the-art night vision goggles that you'll see in military use, naturally, but they are stuff that can be practical for those hobbyists and were an item that if you're a collector, you may want to have. But again, not many are really out there, and especially with the price tag that came along with it, not many people may have those. So you may again be an elite company. Let's talk about some rare items that are actually still out there that you can still take advantage of for the time being, but do have deadlines coming up. So if you're interested, you may want to either jump at the opportunities to get them if you're interested, or in some cases, just hope that Lady Luck is on your side. Firstly, let's start out with one that is, as of recently, coming along with the recent holiday bundles that are free in the shop for Modern Warfare, but seemingly are randomly distributed. Not everybody gets the same items. I know that the bundles that I've gotten, I've only gotten at most a calling card and nothing really all that great, but there is one that comes along with the MP5 Flooded blueprint. Donning a really cool red aesthetic and having a customized barrel, it's one that honestly looks pretty awesome if you ask me, and while I may want to change some of those things which may alter the aesthetic or the appearance of it, like the 10mm rounds on the MP5, it's still absolutely beautiful. And when it comes to some of the customization designs, the camo designs of some weapons and blueprints, I think this is a nice little middle ground where it can be something that's cool and out there, a little bit more flashy perhaps, because there's not many, to my recollection, strictly red camo weapons within this game, but it's also not something that's too crazy, whereas some people had some issue with, say, the blue tracer on a recent variant of the Scar which was introduced. So this was absolutely one that I'm hoping that I can still get, hopefully you guys can get as well, but right now seems to be a little rarer in terms of items for Modern Warfare. Next up is a version of the Kruger Skin known as the Marsh Demon, which comes along with the Making of Call of Duty Modern Warfare hardcover book, which features a lot of cool art if you're into the behind the scenes of the making of a game and the artwork, conceptual work that goes into it. It's something you may consider picking up off Amazon or so, but this item in particular comes along exclusively with that, but is available actually until next year. The other ones we'll talk about here coming up really have a shorter time period on them, but it seems this one goes until June 6th of 2021 if the information presented is correct. After that, another item that is exclusive that may not hold as much weight as some others you necessarily care about, but is an item that is relatively rare, is that of the Wilson calling card, which is a bonus for the Modern Warfare Control Freak sticks. This is something that is available up until, well, actually just a couple of days from now, December 31st, and so if you want to take advantage of that, get those sticks and also that in-game item of the Wilson calling card, you may want to act fast. After that comes the True Victory D-Day skin, which is, again, in the same similar situation that it actually has its promotion expiring as of the 31st as well. The True Victory D-Day skin is a more so blue operator outfit for this, but comes along with the Mountain Dew Game Fuel promo that was a part of the pre-launch festivities for Modern Warfare. Another promo ending in just a few days is that of the Doritos Dew Drop promo, which ends on the 30th, not the 31st if I'm not mistaken, but that is something that you have to only simply follow them over on Twitter and tweet them hashtag Doritos Dew Drop. This was something that was a lot bigger back whenever the month first started and the promotion first dropped, but you end up getting a calling card, charm, and watch out of it, all three of which again are some smaller things, but are rare items that not many players have and are also things that maybe you do care about, maybe you do like how they look. But those are available for the next couple of days if you want to take advantage of those. And rounding out our timed promotion come down to the Totino's pack, which are available on specially marked packages of Totino's products, in which you can get the Always a Party calling card, the Diamond Gym weapon charm, and the Dinner Time watch. Now these ones unfortunately have their codes on the outside of the box if I'm not mistaken, so back whenever the game first launched, this was actually a big problem where players were trying to get these items, but the codes were already redeemed. So this is something that perhaps that code stealing is kind of died down at this point, but you again have 3 days to take advantage of this if you want to get those in-game items. But rounding out the video here, I want to talk about some things that are still available but may not be obtained for a large portion of players. Firstly, that being, well, Damascus camo. Damascus is the last camo that you have the overall camo reward for Modern Warfare, and it takes a ton of time. With so many weapons already in the game, and also, of course, all the weapon levels you have to go through to even unlock the camo challenges, let alone mastering each of them, doing every single challenge, it'll take you quite a few days of in-game playtime, not even just real life time. So that's something that maybe that reward is not as worth it to you this year as it was in the past, but it certainly is something that WoW players have finally started to unlock it based off of glitches that didn't allow other challenges to track in the past. It's finally available, but still not many players have it. I'd probably say maybe 1%, a generous 1% end up having it currently. And the final thing also we'll talk about is one that is exclusive to PS4, making it rarer to players that not only did it and completed it on PlayStation 4, but not available to 2/3 of the platforms, that being the Jack Frosty Scar variant. This is a mission challenge that will put you through the gauntlet of a couple of challenges in-game to unlock it, and while it is free and unlockable to PlayStation 4 players, it's rare because not many other people have access to it, let alone have it unlocked. So that's something that you may have or you may not, but is ultimately going to round out our list of the 15 of the rarest items in Modern Warfare to date. So that said, let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Is there anything you'd like to add to this list? And also, how many of these do you have? Let me know your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below, but hopefully enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel, so if any of that is you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But let's get out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.